Welcome to the masterclass on PydanticAI, a new framework for building AI agents. In this masterclass, we're learning about the core features of PydanticAI and how to build effective agents using simple Python code. We aim to hit all key features of the framework with plenty of examples, so by the end of this, you have the confidence and, more importantly, the knowledge to build your own agents. Today, we're taking a detailed look at how to make your agentic user experience more fluid through streaming model outputs. Streaming enhances AI app responsiveness by delivering partial messages faster, reducing user wait times, and creating a more natural, engaging conversational experience. PydanticAI supports streaming through a run_stream method, as well as by streaming iteration, analyzing node by node as they're outputted by the model. Before we go further though, let's just take a look at how streaming looks in commercial apps. In this example from a ChatGPT, the outputs are presented word by word, sometimes line by line, providing users with a fluid experience and the sensation that the model is responding faster. The actual performance oftentimes may be similar or even the same, but since the outputs are presented word by word or sentence by sentence or block by block, the impression the users receive is that it's a more responsive and more fluid app experience. So that's what we're going to try to build today using PydanticAI and some of the features that the framework provides for us so that we don't have to write tons of custom code. All right. Before we start the examples, let's take a look at what we'll be building today. I've prepared this short demo with a couple of the outputs so that you know what they're going to look at the end of the tutorials. First, we're going to start by doing simple streaming text. And as you can see, the text itself is streaming and it's presenting the user with sentence by sentence output, giving a more fluid user experience. Next, this is super exciting. We're going to do something similar, but with structured outputs. So if you look at the screen, you'll always see that although it is streaming, each and every line of the stream is a structured output. It's presented in a JSON format. However, the outputs of the model are typically in a Pydantic class. So as you can see, it starts with the name, Italian creamy pasta, and then it continues with the ingredients. So if I continue this demo, you will see that the streaming continues, but each and every part of the stream is in and of itself a structured model object. So that gives us the ability to take any part of the stream and display it as a structured model object. All right, next, what we're going to do is we're going to do a node by node streaming. PydanticAI's second method is providing a list of nodes which we can iterate through, and then by inspecting the type of the node, we can then present that to the user. And in this example, we're doing just that. We're taking the nodes and doing one by one node displays, and that provides users again with a streaming text experience. Cool. In the next two examples, what we're going to build is a UI. We're going to use Streamlit for the UI, and then we're going to take the code examples, and in the first case, we're going to stream it through the Streamlit, and I'll show you some of the limitations of Streamlit. And in the second example, we'll fix those limitations by using Markdown. So in this streaming UI bot, as you can see, the UI is already streaming the user experience. There's a trick to it. It's not a very complicated trick, but Streamlit allows us to present the impression of streaming text. The only challenge here is the Markdown, but in the next example, as you can see, we can already display Markdown in the format that we need and the format that makes the most sense for the user to see this recipe information. So those are our 5 demos for today. But before we get started, let me tell you about the new school program that I've started. AI Software Developers is an exclusive community designed specifically for individuals who are looking to improve their skills through AI. We have a very lively community where we share posts, tons of information that our members share, or sometimes I would share. And there are endless opportunities to learn from me and other members. For example, these are some of the sources for learning AI posted by one of our members. Next is the classroom, and in the classroom you'll find exclusive content to this community. These PydanticAI classes are not published anywhere else, so they're exclusive to the school community. You will also see a masterclass on end-to-end solutions, building agents with PydanticAI and RAG and databases and integrations with other frameworks, as well as LangGraph, LangChain, small agents, and other agentic frameworks. Beyond the content, we also have a calendar feature where we meet twice per week to discuss issues, news, or any particular problems. There are many times where we resolve member problems during these calls. Beyond the calls, there's also the possibility to schedule one-on-one calls with me. I really hope you'll check it out, and I look forward to seeing you at the school. Today, we'll work on 5 examples, starting with a simple hello world, then we'll move on to more complex examples. In the first hello world example, it's going to be a simple text streaming, and next, in the extended version, we'll look into structured output streaming. This is one of the more exciting parts, and again, it's something that sets PydanticAI apart from other frameworks because it gives us these structured outputs in a streaming format automatically. We don't have to do manipulation. We don't have to parse clear text into structured text. PydanticAI just gives it to us automatically. So very, very cool. Next is going to be a node-by-node traversing of the outputs, and that's also a great way to inspect each and every node, and based on the type of the node, then we can stream it back to the user either on a terminal window or push it back through an API, which can then be presented in a UI like a web page or Streamlit UI. The last 2 examples are UI-based streaming examples. In the first one, we're just going to stream a simple interaction with the Streamlit UI. I'll show you how simple it is to create a Streamlit UI for a basic chatbot. And the last example will touch onto one of the limitations with Streamlit, which is it cannot process Markdown while streaming. So while streaming, it can only display clear text, but then I'll show you how to make that output in a Markdown format. All right, so that's our agenda for today. It's a super exciting agenda. Let's get started with our first tutorial. In our Hello World example, we're going to start by importing our libraries. As usual, we're going to import OS and async IO. We're going to use Colorama, and from PydanticAI, we're going to import agent and OpenAI model. We're going to stick with the GPT-4o. Our agents for today, they're going to be quite simple. We're just going to use a recipe agent. So let's just go ahead and create our model first. We're going to do OpenAI model, and for our agent, our system prompt is a very simple prompt. You are a brilliant poet. And our user prompt is write a short poem on cherry blossoms. Now, let's define our main method. And here, I'd like you to take a note of how we run the agent. We run the agent with agent.run_stream. Previously, we've run agent.run or agent.run_sync. These are different agent run methods, but for this particular instance, we are running it with agent.run_stream. This is what tells our agent to stream the outputs. Okay, and with the result, in an asynchronous method, we're going to print the poem. So it's a very, very simple way to stream outputs. Between lines 15 and 17 is where the entire logic for the streaming takes place. And on line 20, we're just executing our main method with async IO. So very, very simple. It has to be an asynchronous method. So take a note of that. So the main method is asynchronous. And then we're running it with async io.run, and we're running the main method. 20 lines of code, quick agent. Let's go ahead and run this. As we can see, the output is already streaming, and that's exactly what we need. Okay, this is working just as expected. We have created an agent. We have defined the system prompt and the user prompt. And here we see a very short poem that was streamed to us, giving a more engaging user experience. That's a very simple Hello World example. Let's move on to the next example. Streaming outputs gives users the impression of speed, improving the overall user experience. And PydanticAI provides run_stream and node-by-node traversing, 2 separate methods for streaming plain text or, perhaps more importantly and uniquely, structured data outputs. Using these methods, your agents can supply outputs to the users faster, in a more structured way, and this will enhance the overall user experience of your AI apps. Next time, we'll look into ways how to achieve precision and efficiency with the advanced model settings in PydanticAI. But for today, this is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you learn how to make your apps a lot more engaging through output streaming. If you get value from this series, please consider subscribing and giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you and see you in the next one.